nice open map. Silent was doing some good AWPing yesterday. If that continues today, then there may be opportunity ahead for Muffin Lightning. They're going to be starting on the T side. Ishiban, the Grenade Man, everybody else on Kevlar. Let's see what they have to offer.
Yeah, this was definitely the worst side for TSM yesterday. And TSM, they did actually win both pistols yesterday as well. So that was something that did help inflate their result, perhaps against Immortals, who they almost beat. It was a 16-14. Now, TSM will be playing the standard A retake setup here, and A is exactly where Muffin Lightning will be going, so they should be able to get the bomb plant. Unless Relics can do something a little bit nuts here. In a 4th position, will get taken down by Akis, and that's problematic. A 4 versus 5 retake now for TSM.
2 of which are on highway. These CTs. And FNS is going to be joined by Twist on a car soon enough. Numbers running down though. No one's been touched for Muffin Lightning just yet. Not a single pixel of damage on any of these players. This is a lot of time running down, and does not look likely for TSM in this position. FNS is completely exposed. It's just a matter of time before the triple peak comes in. And there we go, Twist last man standing. Just a 1 kill for TSM, which means they can get 1 scout in the following round. If you buy in the first round, basically, you need to get a kill if you lose the round in order to have money for a scout in the second round. So one person can afford that if that's what they wanted. That's Twist. And he's going to be going for a CZ buy with the rest of his team.
Now, I am in some senses a little bit sad to see a forced buy out of TSM, like just spending all the money, because that means their first buy round is going to be weak. They might only have 1 kit. Maybe some teams don't even get a kit in that round. Maybe they won't have an AWP, or if they do, it's going to be without Kevlar, low grenades. So they have to make something of this round. And I suppose one argument is that Muffin Lightning, you might not expect them to have really solid anti-eco type of plays, but we did see that from them on Cobblestone yesterday. And already TSM will be starting off things well, but a quick team kill will even up the numbers here. So Muffin Lightning going 4 against 4. What is their interpretation? I see Sank is going to retake the door position just to see exactly what's up over here, and that there's no CT in a forward position, which there isn't at the moment.
Got to check his blind spots as well. And now we need to start to watch the clock for Muffin Lightning. Still over a minute, just over a minute for them as they continue to move over towards the A site, picking the right site. 6 the only man there for the time being. Now, a good point that you raise. I'd love to see statistics for the CT side of Cash when you lose a pistol, go for the forced buy, and fail. What kind of score you get. So far, so good for 6. Buying time for the team to rotate. Nice flashbang as well. They want to get there fast enough. I don't think so. They're still just streaming out of the B bomb site. Retake is unlikely. Will they go for it? They're pretty close to the site, in fairness. So I think they're going to go for it at this point. We have Semphis coming in towards Squeaky for the flank. The rest of the team very close to the site indeed. Silent should hear Semphis. He's going to walk, actually. They're going to wait around the smoke, the TSM players around the highway position. And here they come to CZ. Out in force, 1 down for each side. Relics of all of 12 HP, needs to be fast. There he goes. No more frags for Skylar. Semphis now alone in the Squeaky door. No kits on these players either. Still holding the CZ out. Can one-shot people with that from this distance. So, despite having the MAC-10, maybe the favourable weapon. So the force buy has failed from TSM. They've done tons of damage to Muffin Lightning, to their economy, but ultimately they lose the round. So when they go into their buy round, indeed, they will be lacking utility, to say the least.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have minded if TSM, with those 3 CZs and Kevlars left alive in the retake scenario, if they would have just saved them or played very passive exit fragging positions just to carry them into this round. But they did actually manage to get a couple kills out of the retake effort, which is definitely much more than I thought they would be able to do. So generally speaking, their job was done, and also the kills that they got largely were with CZs, which means that you only get a $100 kill reward, which is not amazing. But they have decided to opt to get a couple PT50s and a Deagle into this round. So looking to get some more damage in. If they do so, it will be really interesting, because Muffin Lightning, they can't really afford any losses after that previous round. So TSM with a lot to actually do here in this round. Often a throwaway round, but this could be good for TSM, even if they get a couple kills on the board.
So it seems Muffin Lightning might have a faster approach on this anti-eco. But look at the utility they've got. They've got 1 grenade, 2 grenades rather. They've got no Molotovs whatsoever. They've favoured HE grenades over the Molotovs. But it seems to be working out for them for the most part, but now Skylar could be a problem. Just good for 1 frag. Twist, if he can find some nice angles on Silent and Ishiban, maybe there is potential for him to do significantly more damage to this team. But he's just going to wait for somebody to rotate into an unfavorable location. So very curious to see what TSM are going to have to offer on their buy round. Again, they're going to be lacking in a lot of things. Does that mean they're going to go for aggressive plays? Will they do something based on spawn positioning? We will find out soon enough, but the Muffin continues to grow, Dan. Oh, yes. I'm taking the mantle from Thorin and those horrible puns on the desk.
You said, after, I think after like 2 rounds yesterday that you wouldn't do it, but here we are. Going back on your word, James.
It was a rare lie, Dan, a rare lie.
So yeah, overall, not too bad. Again, though, TSM they did get some. Oh wow, an extra kill coming in. So that's actually perfect here for TSM. A couple frags. They got 4 in the previous round as well. The TSM have done a great job taxing the economy of Muffin Lightning, but we'll have to see whether they can do something on their buy round. As already discussed, they can't get the optimal buy in this situation, as they did go for the full force buy in the second round. This will leave them limited on utility, as you can see. No AWP in sight, no helmets. Obviously, that's not the biggest deal in the world. There's only a Galil on Akis, which that will really make a difference with. But importantly, no kits. And that might be a problem. We'll have to see if Muffin Lightning can find a bomb plant. If they do, that is going to be really stressful for TSM. Just a bit of a default here from Muffin Lightning. Very standard stuff.
So what are you going to do, TSM? 2 smokes and a flash, and there's a minute 20 on the clock. You see FNS's position in the vent. If you're looking towards B, you need to crouch if you're right next to the vent. Otherwise, your view's going to be obscured, and the Ts will see you before you see anything, and you will die in most cases. Minute 10 on the clock, Muffin Lightning just waiting for the utility of TSM to disappear. And that's almost job complete. Twist with a smoke and a flash. And that's it. That's all the utility TSM have. But can they make things work? Playing passive for the most part. They don't really have vision, TSM, of anything at the moment, significantly. But FNS's position is going to be huge. Well, it should have been huge, but you won't get a single kill.
Yeah, that's going to unlock the round here from Muffin Lightning. In fact, TSM had stacked towards the A bomb site, but they play so incredibly passively. Sure, they don't really give up too many engagements, but the only one that they do try to find with Finesse and Vents to get some info, he actually loses that one. So this is highly problematic, because with this passive approach otherwise, TSM have no knowledge of what's going on anywhere. And the plays actually to go in for the A split into the stack of TSM. They could be more fortunate here, but they have to get the frag. Semphis unable to connect those bullets. Relics has to get it done now with the help of Twist. It's just Akis left with the Galil, and it somehow works out well for TSM. That blind stack towards the A bomb site definitely paid off, and Muffin Lightning are going to be very sorely disappointed.
Look at the time on the clock, though. Muffin Lightning had 30 seconds when they started their push towards the site. So, again, they overplayed their advantages to the point where they became disadvantages in terms of time. They didn't have time for error correction on the site because they just waited too long to push. How do you lose a round like that? I don't understand.
Yeah, they had everything going in their favor. It's really sad to see that happen to a team. But there's still opportunity to crush TSM, reclaim momentum in the matchup. Nice flash comes in. Ichiban only converts onto 1 kill, though. And as he was the sole man towards the bomb site, that's going to be some free positioning here. We can see that Twist has made his way up to the sunroom. And this is really awesome because it allows all the information of what's going on in B storage to be in Twist's hands. He can give that to his teammates, and they can know, all right, we're down a man, but we can start shifting our players towards the A bomb site. And Muffin Lightning still haven't decided what they want to do just yet. And we're about to hit the 1 minute mark, which is when most teams would start to go for a delayed mid-take. But poking and prodding here from Muffin Lightning, starting to move back in towards B storage, where Twist waits patiently.
What's weird, though, is Archimonde might be going for a fake towards A. There's no one on A for TSM. They have angles. Oh, there we go. Relics was on the highway, and he's going to pick off Archimonde from there. And move straight back towards mid. So Twist now. Silent going to trade. Has the bomb been spotted, though, for Muffin Lightning? They picked off somebody towards A, so they might not know exactly what's going on just yet.
The play comes in, and you can see that the CTs of TSM, they feel like they have a timing to go straight in towards the bomb site there. Sick, just sticking his gun through the smoke. Then he will retreat. Has a second idea there. Sonic goes for the fake plant. forces the CTs to push the site, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Easy frag for Finesse, and TSM will clean up the round. It does really look like Muffin Lightning struggle immensely in the mid-round so far.
They look very disorganized at the moment, and obviously they've wasted 2 huge chances in the very early stages of this map. But, I mean, you had a guy in the sunroom throwing a smoke. I think there's a technical timeout here, but you had a guy in sunroom throwing a smoke, and you had a guy facing the site throwing a smoke in exactly the same spot toward the bottom area of CT. That combined with the fact that, I mean, I don't know if it's a lack of understanding, you know, when the CTs put themselves in a spot where they're going to have a crap buy straight off the bat, but you know, you wait so much time, and then you have 25 seconds left.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a good start. They've had it. I mean, they could have been like 6-1, 7-1 up, but now they have no money. One player's dropped from a server, so that will cause a delay, and maybe that's a delay that Muffin Lightning need, because this is not the start. They had much better things afforded to them, and they've thrown it away.
Maybe Silent isn't called Silent for nothing, because indeed it's kind of weird to see that. I mean, there has to be a lack of communication if you see 2 smokes in one spot right there. And
when someone's lining up that smoke from sunroom, I mean, that's a pretty serious place to line up a smoke from, especially as you're exposed often to the checkers area. So you might want a teammate covering you. So to throw 2 smokes from CT into CT from different spots completely, I don't know, it's a bit balmy, but it's quite telling, because I've never seen a double smoke in such a fashion before.
Either way, it's time to get back into this one, and we'll see whether Muffin Lightning can rejuvenate themselves. I really do feel like we're seeing a systemic issue with the mid-round play, the mid-round decision-making just generally does look a little bit on the fly. And TSM, they showed us they play passively on that CT side, and that actually might help them dramatically against Muffin Lightning, as they won't be giving up openings too easily, too often. Now it's just about taking down this A rush, and it's looking pretty darn good so far for TSM. Very fast round, and now Muffin Lightning will, or I do believe they should be back onto the buy. Yes, indeed. So we'll have to see if they have some kind of a variation in store away from these defaults that just don't seem to amount to anything so far.
Yeah, this is a fantastic start for TSM. All things considered, how it could have gone versus how it is. Semphis on New York, fair amounts of money in the bank as well, and now they have all the grenades and good stuff. Muffin Lightning, not so much, but then I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern at this point for them. So we've got everything to fight for now. FNS looks to be headed towards the vents once again. You can see the boost coming in there. Maybe he can help Archimonde out. Sorry, well, yeah, he can. He gave him some help, and now he's dead. Good start for TSM. 5 smokes around the map at the moment, so things may be slow for a while. Silent lurking outside the B area for now. Muffin Lightning quite spread out at the moment. Akis in mid with the bomb, Sanks as well. But what is the plan? They've got a lurker towards A, lurker towards B, and there's a wallbang to take out Ishiban, lurking towards Squeaky, so I believe the decision is now B.
Yeah, the decision has been made for them with that frag, and with 2 players playing passively on the bomb side. If only there was some Molotovs, but Twist is caught out of position. Now that could be problematic. Finesse was very good at anchoring this bomb site alone yesterday. Let's see how he fares today. He does have a swath of reinforcements coming his way, and there are the spray downs. Numerous frags going the way of the TSM side until there's no T left standing for Muffin Lightning. And that's going to be another easy round. Another round where Muffin Lightning, they play a default. They lose a player here, they lose a player there, and then it all falls apart. Not only because of the man disadvantage, but because TSM, I believe it's easy enough for them to read what Muffin Lightning wants to do.
A tactical timeout rather for Muffin Lightning, and they're heading towards maximum loss bonus, so they're going to get $3,400 if they are to lose the following round, which means they can spend some money in the hundreds of dollars for the most part. So now you'll see Silent talking. Don't see any words from the coach at the moment. Let's see what they can change up. They looked good towards B, even though they had the players picked off. I thought they had some potential, but FNS again, he's just going to burn time and be a problem and allow his teammates to clean up and then pop out when distraction is run. So ultimately a nice hold from TSM. The money hasn't run away just yet. Always expensive to buy up when you lose a player on the CT side. So we've got some Deagles coming out. Bad timing for Semfis, unfortunately, there. Just queuing away as the peak comes in. Very passive towards A, but they've taken a forward position in, towards mid. But Relic is in A main for the time being, so maybe Semfis can be afforded some assistance. Getting picked. 23 HP, one repeat too many. The TSM can protect that AWP. Twist coming in, Connector and Sick is on highway as well, so not much to be done here for Muffin Lightning. Sank's trying to find somebody out of position. He's trying to do as much damage as he can before he goes down. There's spotted, but the aim punch will be too much. Another round in the bag for TSM. One play down, that's great for their money.
Doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon for TSM. Muffin Lightning again, just, I mean, of course they didn't have much to work with in that round, but just they can't connect the shots and they can't get the coordination working, and the general idea behind their plays is it's a bit cloudy, a bit murky for us as spectators at the moment, just because nothing's really coming together. They open up the round in a very loose fashion, playing those defaults out where you're expecting your individuals to be able to do something to create an opening, a space for the team to then make another decision, but just never quite seems to go their way. This time though, they got Sun on the AWP, and yesterday he was doing a good job on Cobblestone with that, so perhaps he can be good. We'll see Arky pushing forwards, but this round we've got a differing setup for TSM. They play a 1-3-1, they're aggressive in mid, they easily take down the single assailant, and now Muffin Lightning once again forced to go for a push.
Twist towards headshot. Ishiban blind. Is he even able to make the call to his teammates? Not sure. Sank's pushing through the corner of the smoke. Maybe get sprayed. That's the bomb as well. That's going to be hard to retrieve. 5 versus 2. Could be about damage already, but Akis, he's got opportunity. Twist is hiding around the smoke. And Akis will almost go down, but not quite. Still alive here. 3 CTs remain, and they will see that the bomb is in their control, but they're not going to wait for anything. Down Muffin Lightning go. I think they were looking for a fast split towards B with, I think, was it Aki Monday who got caught in mid?
Yeah.
With a pop flash through the smoke, but TSM had CTs on either side of that smoke. Always difficult, especially when you're pop flashing through the smoke. If somebody's under the boost, often the CT will win out the round, well, win out the duel there. So nothing doing for Muffin Lightning just yet.
I mean, one thing they still need to try is an actual proper mid-take. A proper mid-take, you don't have to... I mean, you want to commit most of your players to it initially, maybe up to 4, and then you can fall back out of it with however many players you want, but just take that space away from the CTs. Let's see if that's going to be a development for Muffin Lightning to try. It's not too difficult to pull off, even if you're a newer team. Right now, all they have is just some deagles in this half bite, and so far, it's not working out too well for them. They can't get those initial taps that they are looking for. You see Silence still trying to play with finesse. He's on the AWP. It's going to need some tagging done, but that will be that. A short affair in this round for Muffin Lightning, as expected.
No fear, FNS. 45 HP, pull out the pistol, why not? Have an end to this. So TSM have been allowed to build tons of cash now, so this half may be a shutout for TSM. Even if Muffin Lightning win a round, they're going to be up against it. So let's see if they can cobble something together. 4-round lead for TSM at the moment. Silence now on the AWP. Very curious to see if they're going to go for the kind of picky style that TSM probably will when Semfis has an AWP on the T side. So Archimonde is the mid-man. Maybe going for delayed presence on this occasion. Always good from that position to actually spray to the right-hand side. As you see, Semfis just ran there for free. Often you'll find T's spraying through that smoke because they know that CTs will like to be under the boost spot. So TSM, once they've got their money in a good place, much more aggressive positioning in mid. Previously, Semfis was alone around Connector. Now he starts under the boost, but they're starting to move back, moving closer towards A, TSM.
Yeah, once you get to around the 115 mark, you start to see this from CT sides. They don't want to leave players alone on the bomb sites, just in case on the T side of the map where they can't see, the Ts are all readying themselves for a quick push. So it's the safe way to play, the safest way to play, in fact. And they've actually gone with 3 towards A, and that could very well be due to the information they did get on middle, but that is a very hard shot to hit, and Sick is going to punish Silence for missing that one. And they're just going to start trying to trade their way into the bomb site, but without the help of any grenades, really. This is looking very terrible for the Muffin Lightning side. TSM looking confident, and it's definitely, I think TSM are just outclassing them so far on the CT, on their CT side. A lot of it is Muffin Lightning struggling to find a way to make plays.
Yeah, you have to wonder, with rotations like that, 3 people from TSM deep into the A side, you have to wonder if they have a read that Muffin Lightning maybe telegraph their play somehow, their intentions. Because it seems to be, again, it's essentially, well, it is a domestic matchup. So I do wonder if there are tells in the plays of Muffin Lightning. We have another tactical pause coming out from the Muffin Lightning side. 8-3, fantastic stuff so far as TSM are concerned. Muffin Lightning, though, are pretty much failing on all fronts at the moment. Again, a familiar story. The pistol rounds won, the 2 anti-ecos, and then that's it. No buy rounds have been won from Muffin Lightning.
Yeah, very sad state of affairs. And also just due to the fact that TSM's T side was where they really shone yesterday. They had a lot of awesome plays, a great amount of stuff going on in their playbook that I would love to see again. But if Muffin Lightning don't get any more rounds on the board, there won't really be much of a T side for TSM to have to play. So we'll see if something can change for Muffin Lightning. Something's changed for TSM here with the double orbs in tow for them at the moment. We've got Relics by the sandbag. So again, just changing the setup completely, going aggressive with Sick in the lockers area on towards A main. He's got the cover from Semphis of the AWP as well, with also nading him in. Great plays being made. Sick obviously will spot the bomb, but it is early in the round. Is he going to keep going? Looks like he will. And that's going to be another frag. Finesse finds one aggressively towards B storage. And TSM, are they starting to lose respect for their opponents? Because we're seeing pushes on both sides of the map.
Yeah, we're also seeing sloppy play from Muffin Lightning. You saw Silent there, just caught completely exposed with a flashbang in his hand. In the behind, with a FNS behind the box. A familiar story, we saw that yesterday as well. That area not being checked properly. So, again, difficult times for Muffin Lightning. 2 versus 4, Relics being picked off. Minutes on the clock, so there's still time for Muffin Lightning to work, but with the aggressive start from TSM, you have to wonder how much real estate they actually have. And again, Twist has gone to an aggressive position towards B. That will allow FNS to peek the middle area, and that might not be very good for Muffin Lightning, because as soon as they're spotted by Sick, you can expect FNS to pop out. Maybe he's being baited by Arkimade, but Arkimade looks away. That is horrible for him. He fired some shots to try and bait somebody from connector, and the bait works.
Yeah, and TSM with so much map control, they just always know exactly where the Muffin Lightning players are. There's just almost nothing for them to really be able to do when A main and B storage have been pushed. And here goes Twist. He's got one angle. Oh, wow. Instant shot from Ichiban. Will connect with Twist's face. 1 versus 3 now from the bomb site. Not the easiest task in hand. Can Ichiban get some more work done here? He's got Semphis on the AWP there to worry about, and he's going to hit that first shot of his. So another round going into the hands of TSM. Sneaky bomb plant right at the end there for Muffin Lightning, but all the money in the world has not been helping them so far, and they have not shown us any reason to be confident in that bomb plant helping them into the future rounds.
Nice.
Yeah, aggressions on both sides of the map here. Great stuff from TSM to see them just running with the confidence.
I think the player who was boosted got picked off as well, if I'm not mistaken, in that scenario. So, again, I don't know if the communication's in the right place on the T side. Now, they've got tons of grenades, tons of Molotovs as well, which is something that's been missing before for varying reasons. So, I do wonder if we might see an A play, and will be, for now, Muffin Lightning will be spread out, making sure there's no early aggression from TSM, showing presence on both sides of the map. Ichiban with his grenade execute towards B, going to try to clear out the checkers area, which makes life hard, or harder rather, for the TSM team. But they've been, from what we saw yesterday, they were pretty happy having FNS and Twist just sit deep in the B bomb site and not really have that information. So they won't be too concerned. Deep 2-1-2 set up for TSM. Sick and Semphis deep in towards A. So TSM concentrating on the sites as opposed to mid.
Again, it's just the passive plays from them. There's no reason to doubt it against a team that's struggling to make plays themselves. If they were to play overly aggressive all the time, then that gives Muffin Lightning an easier time because you're making the plays and taking the risks instead of them. That is where they've struggled the most, so keep them in that spot where they have to take all the risks. And here we go, a mid-take. They're going to go for the wrap onto the A bomb site, in which there's 2 players to worry about on the bomb site itself, and also Relic's fast onto the car as well. So if Sick can keep himself alive in this position, it's all over, but he will get traded by RP Monday. That's exactly what they needed, a 3 versus 2 situation, but the bomb still needs to be planted. And with these CTs so close, it's going to be very difficult to be able to get off the bomb site once the plant's down. You can see that's exactly the problem. Great stuff, closing in on the post plant from TSM, and they take another round, 10 in a row now.
Yeah, it was good. The round showed promise, I'll say that much, from Muffin Lightning. They tried to smoke the short position from the boost, but it got stuck on the roof, unfortunately. So you saw they tried to clear out mid, tried to force the CTs away from the highway area to deny them information, and that puts them in a great spot to split the site once the smoke disappears. But yeah, mixed results. But again, it's all TSM at the moment. No buy rounds 1 for Muffin Lightning just yet. They've got, again, it's just maximum loss bonus for days, so the buys will keep coming. The Molotovs have gone, but they still got the smokes, the flashes, and loads of HE grenades on Saxon, Ark and Monday. It's interesting that they generally seem to prefer the HE over Molotovs. Anyway, again, TSM have been forced away from the checkers area. Ernesto in the boost spot, in the vents. But this time from mid, where he's normally be going in. So some changes from TSM as well. So far so good. Semphis down towards B.
Very nice positioning from Finesse there. Trying to sort of trick Ichiban, but Ichiban very thorough, very diligent in his checking of the vents. Went all the way there. Ooh, some feet are spotted. That could be a knife kill for Relics if he wanted to take it, but he's going to wait. He's going to let him pass, see if he can find anybody else. Is it a lurker, or are there more players behind? Looks like he's convinced it's the lurker, but Sanks was behind, but he was trailing significantly far behind. Now the rest of the Muffin Lightning side will come in onto that B-bomb site, and there's a real chance here. They got a massive advantage. There should not be a way, really, for TSM to win the round from this point.
Yeah, but I don't know that TSM they've got nothing to lose apart from an AWP getting into the hands of Muffin Lightning. They've got loads of cash, second last round, so they'll definitely be going for this one. 3 versus 2, Sick taking down a player in mid. And he'll be moving towards the vent. Twist looking for some pre-fire shots, but nobody's serving themselves up just yet. Again, just biding time while his teammate comes in. I don't think anyone's focusing on the vent just yet. Oh, 1 player's dropped from the server, making it 2 versus 2. Fortunately, Muffin Lightning will win the round. That's unfortunate. One of their players dropped from the server in the middle of that round, but they prevail anyway. So we may have a technical pause here. I think it was Sanks, indeed it was.
It seemed like Twist, I think it was Twist, no, Sick. It seemed like he was kind of in 2 minds about going for that retake there. Perhaps his teammates are like, we have the money, just go for it. And indeed, into the last round, they're going to have the fullest of buys. They will be able to afford all of the toys. I do believe I saw an auto sniper there, which is always fun. That's most commonly used on the quad position actually on A, but you can pretty much use it anywhere on this map, as this map is so sniper friendly. So we'll have to see how they decide to go for that. It's Finesse with that. He's usually anchoring the B-bomb site.
Yeah, that's weird. Like if you're over towards car, maybe it makes more sense, but towards B, I don't really think so. I mean, he was wielding the AWP earlier. They've just been throwing it around all the players towards the B bomb site. So I don't feel like they feel threatened at the moment. But auto sniper B, I think the range is too close. I mean, it depends on how aggressive you're taking it. If there's a smoke down from the T side early, then I guess you can just spam it, but you can't spam it forever. So I don't know. Prefer an ult myself, but we'll see how it works out. The round is being restored, and the buy is coming in. So we should be underway shortly. So, interesting. Before the round was restored, they had AWP and Auto Sniper, but now Semphis has got an M4 instead, and Skylar has bought himself an AUG. Guess that's a new trend now. And Sanks has dropped from the server again. I
like AUGs. Well, actually, they suck, but I still like them.
Okay, they're just buying random stuff now. Negev's coming out.
I remember when the AUG was decent. I think in 1.6 the AUG was basically the same as the Krieg, more or less. think the Krieg was always still a bit better. It always felt better for some reason. I'm not sure actually if it was statistically better in 1.6, but it felt, the Krieg felt better. The Krieg does not only feel better for me in this game as well, but it is statistically far superior to the poor org, which has not had much love since it was nerfed into oblivion after there was that one patch for a week where it had, I don't think, any recoil or something insane, which is just amazing.
So what's... Okay. Twist was playing with a Negev, but he is going to leave spawn with an M4 in tow. But indeed, Skylar has an AUG. So we'll see if he can do anything with the stay at org. Again, the close play from TSM towards the middle area. And FS indeed is towards the B bomb site with the auto sniper. So I'm expecting disaster here. His teammate is down to 15 HP already. That grenade will give his position away. But look at the damage done. There's potential. We've got headshots being deployed elsewhere at the same time. FNS has abandoned his teammate. Could have dropped a flash for him, but no, he's just going to leave him there with 15 HP. Maybe the smokes can buy it some time for the side.
So Muffin Lightning, all they have to do is just coordinate themselves in onto a bomb site of their choice. Just take a hearty little delay so that TSM have to make the question, okay, is that information we last had any good? After about 15 seconds, it's not, because the Ts can rotate to any positions. So you force the TSM side to kind of gamble somewhere, to stack somewhere. And they have chosen incorrectly so far, because they have 2 players towards the B side of the map. And the push is coming in towards A.
Can't wait to see this auto sniper retake.
Six sitting there on quad. He's got to get a couple kills here to really make this work out. Oh my goodness, they were kind of lining up for him there. They just can't quite get that first bullet. And this is surely not going to happen for Finesse.
If it does, I'm leaving. That's for sure. There goes Twist. Now it's FNS in a 1 versus 4 with auto sniper, and he is dead. He looks really upset as well. He looks frustrated that he didn't clutch it 1 versus 4 with the auto sniper. I wouldn't be upset.
Well, he didn't even get to shoot his gun, which is very sad.
Auto sniper B, very curious decision.
Yeah, you got so much money at that point. Screw it. So 5-10, TSM, their T side is definitely their stronger of the 2 sides. Muffin Lightning, I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble. If Muffin Lightning get more than 8 rounds, I'll be surprised. And that's obviously accounting for if they manage to win the pistol. I don't think they're getting any buy versus buys against TSM.
I think the CT side can only be better for Muffin Lightning in terms of their own performance, rather than what they're up against, because the T side was quite lacking, and there clearly wasn't much coordination going on there. But I do wonder if that auto sniper buy will come back to haunt TSM, although it didn't really have an impact in that round, in fairness. But there we go. Muffin Lightning, 5 rounds is on the board is reasonable. I mean, if they won the pistol and 2 anti-ecos, it would still be fairly unlikely, but by no means impossible. 6 made his way into connector somehow. There goes Silent. P2000 picked up, thank you very much. I'll take that, almost triple range. Man advantage though for TSM. All of Muffin Lightning, what remains of them, around the connector area, deciding what they want to do. Sick wall duel, just waste some time, keep an eye on what's going on. Raise the alarm to his teammates, and then come down for a nasty surprise. Ishiban has a lot to do here, and only going to be good for 1 kill. So, disaster strikes for Muffin Lightning.
TSM used the numbers really well there. Almost all the engagements, Muffin Lightning's players, defending players, were just essentially being distracted by 1 player and then kind of getting shot from elsewhere at the same time in most of the situations. So really well played by TSM. Nice little... It's rare you see the straight up rush through connector, so that's always nice to see as it's so novel. And now it's that force buy coming out from Muffin Lightning. But one thing we learned from yesterday, TSM have some awesome set plays onto that A bomb site specifically that I'm hoping that we'll see. But they do have the bomb towards B, so maybe not this round.
Relics not wasting any time. Oh, hello. 2 kills at a 5-7. The flash will save Ishiban for a moment, but there's 2 TSM players left. They've gone for a fast play, and it has worked out disastrously. There are guns to be collected by these CTs, and TSM, they need to keep moving before this net closes in on them. Silent is in a position where he might eventually get saved by Archimonde on the flank if TSM wait too long. Twist may end up facing Archimonde, not expect Silent's position. So this is very awkward for TSM. There we go. Looking for the 180 now. Archimonde just playing passive for now.
Yeah, looking for a mistake is Twist. No mistake yet, though, from Muffin Lightning. Arky's holding the perfect position in this spot.
Did you not see the legs there in the vents? Because I saw the legs. They should have come up on his radar as well. 40 seconds. Spots to play a headshot. There's the bait. There's Akis, but Akis gets the kill. 5-7's reign supreme in this round.
And it always frustrates me when it's like, okay, if you go for the B variation, like where are the? I mean, they didn't have any Molotovs. That's so weird.
Yeah, they've got two guys outside checkers, and they've got no grenades.
Yeah, no Molotovs. And it's so weird because we saw them yesterday running all these Molotov strats, and I was just like, yes, this is awesome.
See, I feel like they think it's an auto win for them. Some of the stuff we saw towards the end of the last half, I feel like they feel like they've won the game already, because I don't think they play like that against a better opponent. But now they may win one straight back. Man advantage for TSM.
Yeah, they're still not clean onto the A-bomb side just yet. There's still Arky in this position. He's only got a Mac 10. That said, Semphis misses every bullet. It's okay, though, because Relix is there pushing on the other side at the same time. So it all works out. 4 versus 2. And what has been done to them, they are now doing to Muffin Lightning. In comes the Ichiban and Sanks recovery, potentially. Imp and AK-47 to do it.
Both on the highway position. Ishiban's got a smoke, not going to deploy it though. That would have made the cross to the site at least easier. So this is just in 2 rounds has descended into madness, essentially. So that reset is actually great for TSM as long as they can retain now. Maybe their lesson has been learned. It's crazy to have such a strong position around checkers in terms of numbers and just not use a single grenade. Not even a Molotov, just no grenades whatsoever. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Relic smoking the connector position, so maybe we'll see a fast play into mid again from the TSM side.
Yeah, I think we might even see the A-set piece finally from them with all the grenades. I would hope at least some of the grenades to deal with the most problematic initial entry spots. We, however, do have the CTs of Muffin Lightning trying to face at all angles, so they will offer up the engagements and TSM will be happy to receive. Semphis throwing the bomb down for some reason.
Guess he wants to hold his angles.
At this point, I don't know why that matters, but okay.
It's an awkward angle for him. He was standing on as well. For if you have a CT and connector, you're not going to see that CT really, but he's going to see you. But there we go. Unless you have a scope, it's going to be a lot easier. But whatever. Sanks on the B-bomb site on his lonesome. TSM looking to extend beyond double the score of their opponents, and this is probably unrecoverable at this point. The map for Muffin Lightning. Consecutive rounds coming in from TSM, but at 13 rounds, you do wonder what options Muffin Lightning will feel are afforded to them. Let's have a look at their money. Let's have a look at the cash. Actually, they can go for the buy now. They've got 4 to 5k for the most part. Silence quite short, so no AWP for him. No sniper rifle. He'll be going for the UMP. Limited utility on Muffin Lightning. Are you expecting aggression, Dan? From the CTs?
I don't know what to expect from Muffin Lightning exactly. They may just try to hold their positions. Aggression does require good coordination, unless you... I mean, you can always just try it regardless, but it tends to fail, especially against a team like TSM, which they should be crossing the T's, dotting their I's. And we do see an aggressive setup in mid. 3 players there, but you can see Finesse is looking for these players. He spots the smokes, he spots generally the idea from Muffin Lightning. Let's see, though, if he can actually pick up the frags in the end. Will he dare to go forwards once more? Perhaps would like a flash from a teammate.
I feel like Ishiban is sure to die in this situation. I thought he was getting a bit edgy and wanted to push through the smoke into the middle area, but he doesn't want to do that. Trades though, at least. Sanks over by the sandbags will get one back for his teammate. But now the focus is A for TSM. Smoke starting to go down. Arkimande holding angles, but doesn't want to... Oh dear, there goes his teammate. And there he goes as well. That's a horrible way to die. 4 versus 2. Muffin Lightning running out of options. One on highway, one over towards car, and it's just a shooting gallery then.
It was kind of a good quick reaction from TSM because they obviously spotted the fast mid take, or rather the fast mid pressure from the CT side, which is a 1-3-1 setup. They saw it, and they immediately went 3-door, which is quite cool actually, because if you have the smoke for the toxic barrels on the highway position, and you go through door, you can usually expect maybe only one guy to actually be on the site. So it actually becomes like much better to go through the door in that situation. So if that was the logic and the thinking behind TSM, that was a really nice on-the-fly call from them, and it completely crushed the A defense, which was sparse to say the least. Now we go and see once again the B play from TSM, and this time against Pistols. So should be fine, should be okay.
Be careful, Skylar. People are coming. So that's an AK down in the middle of mid, which I don't know if TSM can protect at the moment.
It's weird that they slowed down the push so completely. They'll still get onto the bomb site because it was basically empty, but they slowed that down a great deal after they lost their player in mid. That said, they have gutted Muffin Lightning, who were... They read it as a rush, which is kind of what it should have been, and they just got caught on the rotation. So it all worked out perfectly for TSM. 15-6, almost 16.
I mean, 9 match points, game points rather. It is a best of 3. Mirage is the next map between these two. But let's see how far this one goes. Again, Muffin Lightning with very limited utility. Silence finally on a sniper rifle. No armor for him, though. He has gone all in on his spending. Had to give his wallet as well as the cash for that one. So Twist going for a forward play into the middle area, but he's going to have an engagement here. Sank's ready and waiting. But there he goes. So Twist picks up the fight silent in the meantime. Lovely spray by Sick around the sandbags. Very fast action here in favor of TSM.
Yeah, really fast mid-take. You can see the 6 going out on a limb here. He's like, look, I got into a really forward position really quickly. Let me see what I can do with it. He spots the position of Akis, but Akis still able to take down Relics, so nicely done by him. Flash into a main. Just launch that one straight in there. And now there's actually a man advantage here for Muffin Lightning. The problem is, though, Akis needs to win this battle. He has to win this battle or survive. He'll do neither. That offers up a free bomb site. There is a smoke available on Finesse as well to try to help them cross. And Finesse is holding the flank. So things are slowing down here, but both CTs are ready to defend on A as well. So smoke is there, but now the bomb is lost.
Lovely taps from FNS. Smokes are down, but he's got 50 seconds. This is just keeping track of these players is the problem. Through the smoke, Ishabad goes, went for the gamble play, wasn't enough. 16-6, a dominant map from